Welcome to the Picture Book Library. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a mom of 6 and a self-professed children's book addict. I created this channel to share about the books that I know and love, as well as fantastic authors and illustrators that you might never have heard of. Okay, today I'm super excited because I'm going to show you my book haul from the other day. Whoop whoop. All right, I went into Goodwill with my 6-year-old because we needed something. I can't remember now what we actually needed there. However, as per usual, I had to stop by the children's book section. And look what I found. All right, I'm going to go through what I got and why I picked it up and what attracted me about the book so that I can share some of my process with you guys of how I recognize and choose high quality children's books. First up, Stregonona. Stregonona is written and illustrated by Tommy DePaola. If you haven't heard of Tommy DePaola, I almost said you've been living under a rock, but that's really not very nice. If you haven't heard of Tommy DePaola, you're missing out. He's amazing. Tommy DePaola has written and illustrated over 270 children's books, and actually he just died March 30th of this year, 2020. He was such a sweet guy, and he was so encouraging towards children who were aspiring authors and illustrators. He was just a really great guy. Plus, his stories are absolutely amazing, and the illustrations are so sweet and whimsical. I actually own Stregonona, but only as a board book. So I actually got the real one, which I'm very excited about. Oh, this has crayon on it. I kind of have a Tommy DePaola thing. I have a lot of his books. I'll show you. Just really quick, I'll flip through the ones that I have. He's written like 270. So obviously this barely scratches the surface, but these are the ones I have. These are the ones I know and love. The art lesson, it's actually about, it's like autobiographical. We have Michael Birdboy. We have Teeny Tiny, which is actually written by Jill Bennett, but is illustrated by Tommy DePaola. We have Bill and Pete Go Down the Nile. The Legend of the Poinsettia. Hey Diddle Diddle and Other Mother Goose Nursery Rhymes, illustrated by Tommy DePaola. Finn McCool. And last, but probably my favorite, is Helga's Dowry, a troll love story. I feel like I had more Tommy DePaola books. I mean, is that not enough? But come on. Next is a book that I got that I don't know the illustrator or the author. However, it is one of my favorite books. It's called Hans Brinker. It's inspired by the young adult fiction novel by Mary Mapes Dodge. This one is retold by Bruce Coville and illustrated by Laurel Long. Like I said, I sometimes pick up books that I don't recognize the author or illustrator. This is one of those books. However, I know the story. I love the story of Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates. And when I saw a picture book version of it, I was very interested and immediately thumbed through the pages and saw that the illustrations in this one are absolutely magical. They actually remind me of one of my favorite artists, Kanuko Y. Craft. They're so detailed and vibrant, and they look alive. Particularly things like the way the fabric drapes. You can see right here in the scarf. They're just stunning. This was a treasure, and I am so glad I found it, and I hope to do a book review on this at some point, because when I do a book review, I look up the author and illustrator and try and give y'all some information about that, and I learn more myself. The next book I got is one that I saw the cover and immediately knew I had to get it, because I had this book when I was growing up. It's called Read Aloud Rhymes for the Very Young. It has an introduction by Jim Trelease, who wrote a book called The Read Aloud Handbook, which is a fantastic book about picture books and reading them aloud to children. He's an expert on the subject. He recommends this book, and not only that, when I saw the cover, of course, instant flashback memories, so many hours spent looking at this book as a child. However, when I took a closer look, I realized that these poems were selected by Jack Perletsky. I have other Jack Perletsky books. And it was illustrated by Mark Brown. which is so exciting to me. I love these connections. If you don't know who Mark Brown is, he illustrated the original Arthur books. I also happen to have a couple of other books illustrated by Mark Brown, and his illustrations are so fun. There are so many pages in this book I could flip through and say, I remember that one, I remember this one, I remember that one. My mom reminded me that she would say, go get the read aloud book and I'll read you a page. And she would just have us pick a page and she would read it to us. Like this one, and this one, and this one. I had to go looking for my other Mark Brown books because I don't think I have any of the original Arthur books, but I knew that I had a couple others and I couldn't remember which ones they were. So I actually found, I have one called Rabbit's New Rug. It's written by Judy Delton, but the pictures are by Mark Brown. And then I also have another one that is one of my favorites called Dinosaurs Beware, a safety guide. Like safety with animals. Never move an injured animal by yourself. Don't feed strange animals. Anyway, it's just the cutest, and it's the same illustrator as Read Aloud Rhymes. The next one I got is another one that I have never heard of the author or the illustrator, but when I saw the cover and flipped through the illustrations, I was hooked. This one is called Little Sleepy Head by Elizabeth McPike, illustrated by Patrice Barton. I love books that help transition kids from starting to go to bed to ready to go to bed. There's a rhythm that children need to get ready to sleep. Actually, all of us need that. And some books keep that rhythm so well. It goes from tired little toes, tired little feet, tired little knees, tired little tummy, and it goes up, up, up until it's tired little everything. Precious sleepy head. The illustrations are just magical. They're so soft and sweet, and I knew that this would become a treasure for us. Okay, 2 more guys, coffee break. All right, when I saw this book, I wasn't immediately caught by the illustrations. However, when I saw the author and illustrator, I almost jumped up and down, because this is called Mrs. Wobble the Waitress, and it's written by Alan Alberg and illustrated by Janet Alberg. I've only really gotten to know their books in the last year, and they are wonderful. One of my kids' absolute favorite books is written by Janet and Alan Alberg. It's called Peepo. It's actually the British version of the book because it was released in America as Peekaboo, but I have it right here. It is literally falling apart. We've read it so many times. And it was the winner of the Parents Magazine Best Books for Babies Award 1985. It goes through the little things that the baby sees. Here's a little baby, 1, 2, 3, sits on his sister's lap. What does he see? Peepo. And there's a little cutout, and then it goes out and opens up to show the whole scene of the family and what they're doing. It is the sweetest family you could ever imagine. I believe it's set in the 1940s-ish. And the rhythm of the story is perfect for children, plus the repetition of Peepo with the rhyming cadence is just perfection. So to find another book written by these amazing people was so exciting. I know I'm a nerd. And I read this book yesterday, and it's so much fun. It's about a woman who's a waitress, and she wobbles, so she gets fired from her job. And so then her family decides to help her, and they open a restaurant in their house, and they figure out a very creative way to just work right along with her wobbles. All right, last one. I was so excited to find this book by one of my rising favorite illustrators. Her name is Gyo Fujikawa. She's an American illustrator, and her characters are so unique and simple and yet full of expression. They just almost look magical. I found Gyo Fujikawa's A to Z picture book. I was flipping through this book, and one of my favorite pages is A. A is for alone, all by myself. Hi there, frog. Can I play with you? The colors and emotions that are captured in her drawings is literally sweetness itself. And this book is in really great condition, and I was so excited to find it. I first heard of Gyo Fujikawa when I found this Night Before Christmas book at a thrift store. Before that, I didn't really know who she was. Since then, I have also picked up one called Baby Animals. It's a board book illustrated by her. And then I also found another one called Come Follow Me to the Secret World of Elves and Fairies and Gnomes and Trolls. So you can just imagine how wonderful that is. Sometimes when I'm looking at books at thrift stores, I find way too many. And one of those times I had a Gyo Fujikawa book in my pile and ended up deciding not to get it. And so much regret. I think now I'm a little more appreciative of her brilliance. So next time. So that's my haul from this week. I love hunting for picture book treasures. And it just makes my day when I find real treasures with all these little connections to books that I already know and love. It's just the best. Let me know in the comments below some of your favorite treasure finds. And let me know if you've heard of any of these authors or illustrators and if you have any of their work. If you like book hauls and you would like to see more of them, you can click the subscribe button and the little bell next to it and you'll get a notification when I release new videos. You can also check out my Patreon page where you can become a Patreon member and support this channel. Because seriously, if you give me money, then I'll use it to buy more books. So I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.